Hey, what is up, my dudes? Nubkeks here, and yeah, today I've got a tier list to show you guys. It's been a heck of a long time since I did one of these, but I figured with, Stormley coming out, and especially with Anduin coming out too, it would be a good time to hop in and just give you my thoughts on what the best heroes are to play at the moment. So this is over on my Heroes Hearth entertainment page. Unfortunately, the roles aren't properly updated yet, but it doesn't really matter. You guys, you're smart people. You'll work it out. I will break it down by role, so this is easier to parse. But yeah, essentially, you got Tier 1, which are, in my opinion, the best heroes in the game right now. And this should be the same for the Anduin patch as well. On the test realm, there's no balance changes there. It's just Anduin. Speaking of Anduin, I have them in tier 2 right now. Tier 2 are like pretty strong, they're strong heroes. They're generally quite good picks, I think anyway. Safe picks, solid picks, impactful picks. Tier 1 being the more OP ones, I think. And then tier 3 is like the average tier, which is most heroes. And then I put some of the weaker heroes in tier 4, or heroes that are, very easily countered or are hard to synergize with your team. Sorry, it's a bit stormy here. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But yeah, to break it down by role real fast then, in terms of assassins, I think overall the best ones right now are Zeratul, Hanzo, and Maiev. I certainly think Zeratul and Hanzo in particular are extremely skill-based heroes. Maiev is kind of, but not as much. So yeah, I think these guys are kind of the defining ones. We have tier 2, which are, again, they're all pretty decent heroes. They're pretty solid. Chromie does tons of damage. Genji is still a good hero despite all the nerfs. Again, skill-based. Jaina and Kael'thas. I feel like Jaina's better than Kael'thas, but they're the mages. They're very strong, safe picks. They synergize with Ana extremely well, who is the best healer in the game at the moment. You got like Junkrat. Kel'Thuzad, maybe a bit of a weird one, but Kel'Thuzad can just simply win games. A good Kel'Thuzad combo can just win the game, just like that. So, like in the mid to late game. And then Raynor for solid range damage. Thrall, solo laner in there. He's a powerful solo laner, very powerful team fighter. And definitely mixes up that sort of solo lane meta a bit. And then Alaric, who actually I've been very impressed with recently. I think this hero, again, is pretty broken. And, when he starts winning, he can just win the game really hard. You get some sadism stacks on him. You get a few kills, luckily, in the early game, and that can be enough to simply snowball into the late game. It's kind of crazy. And you have like the average assassins again here. I'm not really putting in too much difference between them. I think they're all good in their particular spot. Li Ming could be a really good synergy with Ana, for example. If you got Ana, I feel like Greymane could be useful quite often. Cassia counters basic attackers, that sort of thing. Phoenix on Braxis. There's all different places for you to use these characters. I'd say maybe 2 to watch out for would probably be the quote-unquote stealth ones as well. Valera and Samuro. They can be very strong with like an Abathur or something. It can be really obnoxious. Tracer, same thing. In a Hero League situation, or sorry, Storm League situation. And then we got tier 4, I think Illidan, Butcher. I think they can be fine. They're just very easy to counter, so it's difficult to draft them. Sort of same thing with Nova, and sort of same thing with Zul'jin. It doesn't mean you'd never pick them, but they're just gonna be it's unusual that you would. Varian I have in kind of tier 3. Not much to say about him. Over here, Abathur obviously is just extremely strong. The clone is super powerful. He enables a whole bunch of heroes to be just crazy powerful too. Like I said, Zeratul, the Samuro, the Tracer, Greymane, Jaina, he's just kind of nuts. I think Sergeant Hammer, Sylvanas, great range damage. And then we've got like the average boys. And then like the Murky, the Gazo, the Lost Vikings, who again, they're not necessarily always terrible, but it's going to be very, very rare situations where I think that they're good. And yeah, that's them over there. In terms of the healers then, I think Ana is unquestionably the best healer in the game right now. I think Tyrande is probably second best, and Malfurion is pretty much up there too. So these are going to be the sort of 3 healers you're fighting over. I'm expecting Anduin to be pretty good. Anduin seems like he should be very strong, from what I can tell. Obviously the Yoink, his Leap of Faith, his trait, a really good counter to things like, Garrosh and Stitches. We'll see when we get to play him on live games, but I have some hope for him. And then I've got pretty much all the other healers. I don't think I put any in tier 4. Yeah, no, not really. The other healers are all kind of here. They all have their strengths, they all have their weaknesses, and their situational uses. So yeah, with the healers, it's more about kind of what your comp has, what their comp has, and what counters it. Albeit, just Ana. Obviously, you'd first pick Ana every single time. And Tyrande and Malf are pretty safe to pick in nearly any sort of situation, I feel. And then finally over to the tanks and some of the bruisers as well. So I think Anub'arak is the best tank in the game. Again, pretty much without question, Anub'arak and Ana, they're just kind of crazy. Personally, would probably be banning them every game, with maybe Zeratul and Abathur being way up there on certain maps as well. I think Diablo is a really good tank too. Very survivable, great single target pick pressure. He's nowhere near as dominant as he used to be, but he's still like way up there and is typically going to be a very common tank to see. Then I actually have a lot of other tanks slash bruisers in tier 2. Rexar, despite getting a couple of nerfs, still amazing. Solo laner. Then, we got other main tanks. Johanna, Stitches, ETC, Garrosh, of course. Even Arthas sometimes a bit situational, but yeah, you got a lot of good options there. I feel like Leoric and certain comps. I mean, I'd maybe move Leoric down a little bit, but he's up there for now. And then Imperius, who can be really good counter to some heroes with his max HP damage. He did get a different build, so I'm kind of excited to try that with the W talents getting buffed. So I might take another look at him and see there. And then the rest of the tanks, I think, are mostly here. Again, these are quite situational, though not necessarily always terrible, and mostly merge tier 3 and tier 4, I guess. It's not that big of a deal. I think, honestly, this is something I would say, right, is looking at the tier list. I think this is quite important. Is that what's at the bottom? Actually, I don't feel like it's always that important. It's more of a scramble to get like the really strong heroes, and then to fill in more contextual picks out of these ones. Like, okay, for example, being like, all right, well, Probius, well, whatever. Our teammate's a really good Probius player. We're playing on, like say Braxis or something. There's like a solo lane matchup that really fits Probius. It's a really unusual pick, but hey, this fits perfectly with our draft this time, so let's go for it. That sort of thing, And yeah, there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know down below too what heroes that you've seen be really good in your Storm League games that you think you should watch out for. And I'll catch you all next time for more. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.